Hey gang, it's Paul, and I went to my very first K-pop concert, which was Dreamcatcher at the Wiltern Theatre in Los Angeles on July 17th. I wanted to do this little vlog to kind of talk about my experiences at that concert. And I actually got a chance to meet some of you, which was really fantastic. It was actually a big surprise to me because this was in Los Angeles. I just kind of assumed most of my audience was global, but some of you were there, and that was really, really great. So everyone I met out there, thanks so much. It was really great meeting you, and you may see some of yourself in this video. So I'm not going to put whole song fan videos in this video because there's a lot of other people on YouTube who are uploading whole songs. That's really not what this is about. It's just about the experience in general. So the concert started at 7:30 p.m., but they opened the doors at 6 p.m. And I got there about 4:30 p.m. And the reason is because I bought a ticket in the lodge section. And if you don't know the Wiltern Theatre, there's sort of like a mezzanine. And then in front of the mezzanine, there's the lodge, which is a little bit closer. And me personally, I just wanted to have a assigned seat so I didn't have to like rush in the stage and try to fight people for a position. And I actually probably could have come a lot later, but I got there at 4:30. And when I got there at 4:30, the line was around the block. Here's some footage. What time did you guys start lining up?
3 a.m. Yeah, 1:30.
How long have you guys been here?
4:30.
Yeah. 4:30 this afternoon?
No, good morning.
How's it going? How long have you guys been here?
5 a.m.
5 a.m.?
5 a.m.
There are all these people here before you though, huh?
Yeah.
5 a.m.
Probably got out of concert yesterday.
No, that guy up towards the front with the ponytail, he's been here since last night.
Yeah, that was the guy. He went here, he conked out, dude.
Look, I'm gonna be honest, even though the line was very long, people were sitting out in the hot sun for a very long time, the very fact that so many people were waiting for Dreamcatcher was pretty amazing. It really was very inspiring. I was so happy and excited for the girls. It really shows that they've really grown and come pretty far to gain that much popularity in the United States. And hey, what's your name?
My name's Kevin.
Kevin, where are you from?
From Sacramento.
Sacramento. Did you drive all the way down here?
Yes.
How long did it take?
Well, I'm sorry. I was thinking of another question in my head. I flew down here, but I drove out to San Francisco and hit up their concert on the 14th as well. So this is second concert this weekend.
Number 2. Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So what are your favorite songs?
Well, I got started with Petey. Red Sun is up there. Because is up there. Deja Vu, of course, is one of the better ones. But it's hard to pick out of the entire list. There's many, many, many more that I can't list in the course of a small interview. I've got 3, if I'm allowed to.
Of course.
I got Jiu, Guyon, and Xion.
Well, you said Jiu first, so you say she's the first one you think of?
It's usually what the fan chant starts with, so that's what I went with. So
after getting inside, I made my way up to my seat. And I grabbed a beer. So let's talk a little bit about the concert. I even made a list with some notes. The first thing I want to say is the girls sounded great. As somebody who's performed live on stage in musicals and as the lead singer in a band before, sometimes you just don't have it and your voice is tired, and every once in a while when you hear people sing live it gets a little pitchy, meaning that it's a little sharp or a little bit flat. You know, you just kind of expect that in a live show, that maybe they're off a little bit every once in a while, but the girls hit every note. They didn't sound strained, everything was dead on. Just a result of having great talent, great training, great endurance. As a singer and as somebody who had a degree in music, has a degree in music, I was incredibly impressed by their live performance, just how accurate on the notes, how good their notes were. Fantastic. second thing I wanted to mention were the outfits. They were amazing. Both cute, sexy, they just looked fantastic. I'd like to point out specifically Xian and Gayan's outfits where they're wearing these huge t-shirts. That's kind of like when I was in university, we called that the boyfriend t-shirt, when a girl wore like your big baggy t-shirt and that's, you know, over shorts or whatever, just this big baggy thing. So they were wearing boyfriend t-shirts, super sexy. The next thing I want to talk about is the fun that they're having / their audience interaction. Yoo-hyun said early on in the concert that they were very exhausted, and look, I understand that when you tour, it's not just you perform on stage, you usually get to the venue like hours and hours beforehand, you get, you know, your makeup and your wardrobe, you sit around for hours, and even though you're sitting around, it's still exhausting, because even if you're not doing anything, you're anticipating doing things. Plus all the travel, hustling back and forth. When you have to do something, that time is not relaxing, you're thinking about what you have to do, so it becomes very exhausting. So the girls are probably wiped out. But, so saying, they had high energy and they made it very, very, very fun, and you could tell they're having fun on stage. And again, as someone who has performed live on stage in front of many, many people, I gotta tell you that performing live on stage is sort of the whole reason why you're a performer. When you're there in front of an audience and you hear the applause and you feel the energy of an audience and you hear people screaming and cheering for you, that does so much for you, as opposed to being in a studio and recording or being in rehearsal. When you have the live audience, that is kind of why you do what you do. It gives you life. It just really energizes you. And speaking of which, I have to call out specifically Jiu. Jiu is the best leader and hype girl you could ever want. Through the whole concert, she was giving so much energy, interacting with the crowd, waving her hands, trying to get people hyped up. That girl is just phenomenal. She is so good at what she does. She's the best leader ever, and she interacts with people. She is literally the most encouraging, warm, inviting, hardworking hype girl you could ever want. She really stood out with that. Also on this list was the audience. I know it's not Dreamcatcher specific, but the audience itself was amazing. They screamed the entire time. When all the girls like did little solo parts in the songs that everyone knew about, like Dami's rap or Xian's high notes, the crowd would go crazy through the whole concert. They just gave so much feedback and so much energy to the performers. The crowd just showed so much love. The next thing I want to talk about is the set list. So I remember when I first started covering Dreamcatcher and I looked at some of their old concerts when they toured like Latin America, they didn't have enough of their own songs, so they did a lot of covers. Now, a few years later, they have so many good songs. They could play a 4-hour set of all their songs and it still wouldn't be enough. And for the tour, I really like this set list. Of course, their favorites we didn't hear, like Red Sun and There Was No One Left. It feels like that it won't matter how many songs Dreamcatcher plays, there'll still be other songs that you like and are favorites that you want to hear. So right along with that, a lot of credit has to be given to Lise and Olunder, who wrote just bangers. Without Lise and Olunder writing such great hits, and obviously Dreamcatcher very talented to perform those hits, but huge shout out to Lise and Olunder for writing such great songs for our girls. And I gotta be honest, like this kind of music is great for larger venues. When I was watching Dreamcatcher at the Primavera Festival, that rock vibe, they were just killing it with this huge crowd of people, because that kind of rock essence and the energy that's put out through that really is great for huge arenas and large audiences. They can really transcend and really just fill an arena with this kind of music. also want to mention all the breaks that they took. These were good for a couple reasons. One, on the production end, it's good because the girls get a chance to breathe and get a moment. So also for the girls and having this talk time, it gives it a chance for it to be sort of fresh every night. So when I was in university, my very first performing job is I did shows at Six Flags, Darien Lake. I did theme park shows. We did 6 shows a day, 6 days a week, and I'll be honest, it got kind of boring. So to make it interesting for us as a cast, we would mix up our solos. I would sing Phantom of the Opera solo one day, or a Les Mis solo the other day, a solo that wasn't necessarily assigned to me. We would mix it up to keep it interesting for us so that the same thing over and over just didn't get boring. So I think by having this section where it can be a little bit different every night is actually really good for the girls. For the audience, it really gives us what we expect from Dreamcatcher, which is a lot of personal interaction and feeling personally connected to them. So the last thing I want to mention is that the CEO was there that night. The show that I saw was their very last concert on their North American leg. So I think it had a little bit extra energy. I think they did maybe an extra encore at the end. But I thought that was really amazing that the CEO flew all the way from Korea just for that show. It kind of shows just what an amazing company this is. The CEO comes and he supports his girls on the last leg of their tour. Amazing. And lastly, I just kind of want to say that I wished I had a chance to go to the fan meet and greet. I didn't know how you do that. Actually, the girl sitting next to me said that she got into it, and I guess you buy albums in sort of a lottery ticket system. So she bought 7 albums and they did a drawing. I didn't even know that. So I kind of wish that maybe Dreamcatcher's Instagram or maybe their website or maybe their Twitter would tweet out how you get these things. Although I don't know if I would have bought 7 albums because I don't even have a CD player. But I was bummed. I missed out on that. I didn't know how that was going to happen. Obviously, I missed out. But gang, that was it. My very first K-pop concert. It was Dreamcatcher. The audience was incredible. Everyone was amazing. So gang, that was it. My very first K-pop concert, and it was Dreamcatcher, and I was blown away, and it was so cool seeing these girls in person who we've watched online for so long, and they did so good. And gang, also, it was so great meeting so many of you. So for me, in my very first K-pop concert Dreamcatcher experience, that's a wrap.